tuning in. You're watching In Deep on the Delta. This is the weekly report, so don't get anxious. We'll have a report here in just a minute. But I wanted to give everyone a heads up that King Island Bar and Grill is now open. Everyone knows King Island, the marina. They got the gas docks. It's a full-service marina. But they started the restaurant last year, and due to COVID, it was shut down during COVID, and they're back up in operation. Annie is the manager here. My wife and I had breakfast this morning. It was great. So you guys are open for breakfast, lunch, dinner, right?
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, yes. We have our standard dinner menu, but every Thursday night we have something called Thirsty Thursdays, and it's a specialized menu with a discounted meal that's not normally on the menu, and discounted drinks as well.
That's Thursday.
Thirsty Thursdays.
If you're out here, it's middle of summer, these 105-degree days, it's air conditioned in here, it's very pleasant. They've got some TV. If you want to come in for an hour or two and cool off, have lunch, it's a great place to do that. Also, if you need a cup of coffee on your way out, if you're fishing out of Paradise Point or King Island, if you're fishing White Slough, Disappointment Slough in the Central Delta, it's a real close hop over to the King Island Bar and Grill. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Oh, you also have takeout.
Yes, all of our menu items are takeout.
Everything's takeout, so if you need to get a burrito or something on the way out, and you're going out to making a long run, you need something to take, you can get it here. The other thing that makes it really nice is from the restaurant, I could look out on the courtesy dock, out of the gas dock or the courtesy dock, and I could visually see my boat. So if you're gonna, especially you bass guys, if you're leaving stuff on the boat, and we all have rods, reels, and expensive stuff, you can watch the boat from the cafe. And also, you have shaded outdoor dining.
Yeah, we have a patio that's usually in the sun, but we have umbrellas, and then we've got a really nice grassy area down below that's fully shaded. It's really nice in the evening because there's lights hanging in the trees and things like that. It's just a really nice place to sit and eat.
There you have it. You know it's here. Come in and tell Annie you heard it on In Deep in the Delta. And you say the pancakes are really great. You got to try those.
They're sweet cream pancakes. They're probably my favorite item on the menu. I'll eat them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Make sure you get the pancakes. And if you haven't seen in the background, they also have alcohol. So thanks, Annie. And hopefully fishermen will start flooding in here, and we'll be in and we can enjoy the dining. Thanks a lot, guys. Let's get into the report.
Oh, nice one.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. You're watching In Deep on the Delta. This is the weekly Delta fishing report for the week of July 22nd. And I'll start off by saying, since I filmed that first portion out at King Island Bar and Grill, I have been back and I've tried the pancakes, and they are really, really good. So if you get out to King Island Bar and Grill, make sure you try the pancakes. So let's get into the fishing report. I'll start off with saying we've got a little bit of a striper report this week. People are, for some reason, they showed up and they're starting to catch stripers out in the Delta. Not a lot of people are going after them, but a lot of the bass guys that have been fooling around with jerk baits and walking baits and things have been catching stripers this weekend. So I just want to throw that in and let you hardcore striper guys know that they're out there. They may be moving in. I also got a report which is really interesting will be interesting for a lot of you guys that are chasing stripers. Talked to Spencer out at Hook, Line, and Sinker. He's getting reports from some of his customers, some really, really large fish, like 40-inch plus fish, are being caught out on the Sacramento. We're talking from Pittsburgh down to Honker Bay. There's some big fish in there, and they're being caught. And like I said, these are real trophy fish. So that's a real interesting proposition for you guys that are waiting for the stripers to come in. They're out there. Not a lot of action right now, but they're going to be moving this way. So in the next few weeks, maybe we'll have a striper report for you guys. With that, we'll get into the largemouth bass fishing. Still very good. Not as good as it was last week, but I think there was a logical reason for that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And there's going to be a logical reason why this week looks like it may be a better week to be fishing. A lot more action this week than there was last week. So let's get into it. Air temperatures are ranging now mid 90s to 100 most days. Water temperature is around 80 degrees. The only thing that's changed a little bit, what I've seen out here, is that there are some areas of the delta that are clear, have more water clarity than others, and I'm talking about clarity from maybe 5 to 8 feet of water visibility. Some areas have maybe 3 to 5 feet. Now, what I can tell you for my fishing, I've been doing better in the 3 to 5 feet of visibility. The little dingier water, I think the fish are easier to catch. Probably not anything new that you guys don't know, but if you come out here on the weekend and you go to your favorite spot and you've got really good visibility, you don't catch anything, don't stay in there. Move around, try to find that 3 to 5 foot visibility, and you'll probably be able to catch a few more fish. Now, what are they catching them on? It's across the board. I'd like to give you guys one certain bait that you can go out and try and you're going to catch fish, but the bottom line is all the reports from the shops, everything that's coming in, it's across the board. So it's really, I won't call it junk fishing. Junk fishing to me is more when you really have to move around and try different lures and try different techniques, and you catch one here, one there, one at this spot, one at that spot. Junk fishing, the terms that I'm talking about now, is that everything's catching fish. If you like drop shotting, you're going to catch fish. You like throwing worms, you're going to catch fish. If you're punching out here, you'll catch fish. Literally anything you throw that you have confidence in and you stay on it, you're going to catch fish out here. Now, if you're really looking for the bigger fish, I know some of the guys that are practicing for a couple of the bigger tournaments coming up have been doing a lot of punching, and punching is producing some big fish. And as the temperatures, air temperatures and water temperatures start to rise, punching is going to become more and more of a player. I keep saying that, but if you're head hunting for big fish, try punching or try frogging. Crankbaits have been doing really well. I've got reports on guys basically just coming out and throwing crankbaits all day on the outside of the weed edges. That's paying off. This week, chatterbaits weren't all that great, but it's going to be up and down. Chatterbaits, crankbaits, topwater baits for me have been very, very good. Of course, I'm fishing early and late in the day, so I'm fishing that compressed bite window, and I'm having really good luck on walking baits and also buzz baits. I have also continued more than I should to throw those throughout the course of the day, and I'm getting bites throughout the day, especially slower moving walking baits that are just kind of enticing fish to pick up. It's not a fast bite during the day, but when I have open water that looks like it's a good place to throw a topwater, I've been throwing a walking bait like a bubble walker or a spook, and I'm getting fish. Now, I know a lot of the guys are throwing frogs. They're throwing them all day, and that could be an all-day bite, but don't be afraid to fish topwaters out here throughout the day. So whatever you're doing, look at the water in front of you. It looks like good spinnerbait, and again, spinnerbaits are still working. Spinnerbaits and crankbaits are two of the moving baits that I would definitely be throwing. The other thing that's really coming into play is shade. As it gets hotter and hotter, I have noticed that, especially in the last week or 10 days, I'm really trying to stick to the areas of shade, and it doesn't mean that it has to be a big area of shade. It can be shade that's coming off of a bank or a tule berm. It could be the shade of a dock. It could be shade from surface vegetation, like when you're punching, or even offshore vegetation that is submerged. It still creates shade underwater. So you have to be really aware, even if it's a 6-inch piece of shade down a bank or something, you want to have your baits in that shaded area. So be aware of that. Now, the reason why I think the fishing last week took a little bit of a drop, it wasn't as good as it was the week before, is because we had some very difficult, not difficult, but just okay tidal coefficients. This week we're having a full moon here coming up, and the tides are going to have a much better tidal coefficient. We're going to get a little more moving water. And that's, another key that some people have been talking to me about is when they start seeing the fishing slow up, they're moving to areas, whether they're tule points or bank points or blowouts in tules, flooded islands, whatever. They're finding a little bit of moving water. Even if you can find an area where there's a little bit of a breeze off of a point, even if the water's not moving, that's the area. Those are the areas that are holding fish. So also look for a little bit of moving water. With that being said, we have a better tidal coefficient coming up this week, and we should see the take increase. So with that, that's about all I have to add. You guys really need to get out here. The fishing's fun, and there's very light pressure out here. There's not a lot of skiers for some reason. At least I've been out on the weekdays, so there's not a lot of jet skiers. There's been a few cruisers on the weekends. Very few skiers that are out here, so it's really a pleasant time to be out here. And I'm going to leave you with a public service announcement, and this has to do with Zach over there at Outdoor Sportsman. I've been talking to Zach and getting reports, and I guess the week before last, Zach slipped up and got a second in the Wednesday night tournament. Last week he won his third Wednesday night tournament, third of the year. So my public service announcement is to just say, Zach, why don't you take a week or two off and just go out, maybe fun fish a little bit, and give someone else a chance to win one of these tournaments. And whatever you're eating, maybe you could share that with us, because I definitely want to cook some of that up. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it, because you seem to be catching a lot of fish. But for all you guys that fish the Wednesday nighter, that's my public service announcement, to tell Zach to back off and let one of you guys win the next couple of weeks. So with that, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Tell a friend. I really appreciate all of your information that you're sending me. We'll see you guys next week. Hope to see you guys on the water. And until then, catch a lot of fish and send me a report. Take it easy. We'll see you next week.